Hi everyone, welcome back to Melody Crochet Nook. I'm Beth, and I wasn't sure what to do for this video, but my daughter was like, "Come on, you should probably tell people about how you started to crochet." So that's what I'm gonna do. When I was a little girl, my grandma, I think that's everyone's story, their grandma taught them how, but I was really young. I was probably 6 or 7 when she started to teach me how to crochet, and at that point I was only able to do the chains. So that kind of sparked an interest, and I went from age 7 to age 20 without picking up another crochet needle because I didn't have anybody to teach me. I didn't know how, I didn't know how to learn, and of course back then we didn't have YouTube to look up whatever we wanted to find out and how to learn. So I ended up working at a job at a Hallmark store, and they were on the slower side at times. So one of my friends, or friends and co-workers, she was crocheting and I showed some interest, and so she tried to teach me and it worked out really well, but she was left-handed. And so I was learning a little bit backwards at the time, but it ended up working out fine. So that was when I was 20 years old, and then I went away to college because I was doing junior college at that time, and then I went to Calvary Chapel Bible College in Marietta, California. So I went there, and while I was there, a lot of my friends were crocheting, like in classes and stuff. So I was able to start crocheting again at that point. I wasn't very good at it, and I just picked some things up here and there, but it was good practice. I think I made a couple of scarves, and then I taught a few of my roommates how to crochet and stuff too, and that was fun to be a part of. Then some babies started to be born from the staff at the Bible college, and so I think the first baby blanket I actually was able to finish was for a dear friend of mine, and her son is, I don't know, probably 16, 17 years old now, which is crazy to think about. But yeah, that was the first baby blanket that I had finished. And then I made both of my nephews baby blankets. And then when I got to my new church in Oceanside, California, I made quite a few baby blankets there too. And that's all I really made besides scarves. And then after my husband and I got married is when I moved to Oceanside. There were a lot of people in the church that were having babies and stuff, so I made a bunch of baby blankets then, and that's pretty much all that I had made besides scarves. And I think I made a couple of dishcloths and a bath mat. So I did that for a while, and then I had stopped crocheting for a little bit because life got busy, and I tried to knit in between there a couple of times. It did not work. I am not a knitter. I tried wood knitting needles and metal knitting needles, and I just could not get the yarn to work properly. on those. So I gave up. I'm like, you know what? I like crochet. Let's just stick with crochet. I don't know if I'll go back to knitting or not. I think crochet is just my type of art form for the fiber arts. So yeah, after a while, my husband and I had our first daughter, and I made a baby blanket for her, and that was the last baby blanket I made, I think, ever. I don't think I've made another baby blanket. I made my baby's blankets, but that's different. Because it's different because I made them when they weren't babies. I just now made them last year. So anyway, my oldest daughter's 10. So right before she was born and I made her the baby blanket, that was the last time I crocheted, until last year, I think. So I went 9 years without crocheting because we had 2 other kids. So I have a daughter, a son, and another daughter. And yeah, I was working full-time at a corporate job, and I just didn't have time to crochet. And if I did, that extra time went to things with the family. But anyway, last year picked it up again. I made my kids 3 blankets and my husband a blanket, and that was it. But then I really wanted to start again, and so I started amigurumi. And if you haven't seen that video, you should check it out. It's the first video on here, and it is what I started making, the amigurumi stuff, and how I started making it all. And then I found this one. This is the very first amigurumi I made. I didn't finish it until after the other kids' mugs were made, and I wasn't able to show this to you because I couldn't find it at the time. But here it is. He's cute. It was before I had the safety eyes, so I embroidered them, and I don't know. I think I like it. I don't know if better, but I like it just as well. So, I guess that's my story of how I started to crochet. And it's just always brought me joy, and it's always kept my brain working because I'm always trying to figure out, well, why does this stitch do this pattern and things like that. So again, it's been fun and I really enjoy it. So yeah. All right, well, thank you for listening to story time as I drink coffee at almost 9 p.m. That's okay, but I love this cup. One of my coworkers, when I was working at the Bible college, gave it to me, and I don't think she knew at the time, but it's always been one of my favorites, and I feel like I can start using it all year round now. Which I used to do it all year round, but then I got other mugs and started using those more often. But I pulled this one out today, and I'm glad because it has like that knitted sweater pattern. It was a Starbucks, well, it is a Starbucks mug, but from 13 years ago, 14 or 15 years ago. All right, anyway, thank you for joining me for story time. Our verse for the day is Philippians 4:4, and it's rejoice in the Lord always. Again, I will say rejoice. Let your gentleness be known to all men. The Lord is at hand. Be anxious for nothing, but in everything by prayer and supplication with thanksgiving, let your requests be made known to God. And the peace of God, which surpasses all understanding, will guard your hearts and minds through Christ Jesus. Okay, so that was verses, it was Philippians 4:4-7. So yes, thank you for coming, for joining me for story time and for scripture, and have a great day, great evening, whatever time it is where you are. And if you enjoyed this, please like and subscribe, and share it with others that you think would enjoy it as well. So if you leave a comment down below, I will get back to you as soon as I can. I've been really enjoying getting to know you guys, getting a chance to talk with you guys and everything. So have a great night. I'll talk to you later. Bye. Rejoice in the Lord always, and again I say rejoice. Rejoice in the Lord always, and again I say rejoice. Rejoice, rejoice, and again I say rejoice. Rejoice.